Hello, welcome back to Cooking and Crafting with Margaret and Mia. Today, I'm working on a project um, using Armour Etch, and I am going to etch this mug, and it's going to come out looking like this. I put a towel in it so you can see it better. My daughter is a senior at Texas A&M, and she's getting her Aggie ring next week. So I was trying to work on etching a mug for her, and then it turned into a project, and I decided to surprise the family, and we're going to have a small party for her because of the coronavirus. And so this one says Proud Aggie Dad, and I have one that says Proud Aggie Mom, her aunts, and her uncle. And I also etched her picture. And today we'll be putting on the vinyl. I've already cut it out using a Cricut. Special thanks to my girlfriend Krista for coming over and helping me with this project. It was really big and I'd never etched before, but once you do it, it's pretty easy. So class of 2020 is going on here. And this one is the one that's left is, it says Proud Aggie Uncle. And so the first thing that you want to do is you want to take some alcohol and clean your glass really well. Because of all of the residue and grease on your fingers, you want to make sure that it attaches or adheres to your glass really well. And then I'm going to do two at a time. So the first thing you need to do is take your vinyl, and this is just removable vinyl. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this transfer paper and place it on top of the piece of vinyl that says this way. And let me angle my camera down so you can see what I'm doing. So this is the same thing that we're doing. I've done that one already. So we need to make sure that it's going to adhere well. So you have to make sure that none of the pieces come up. The inside, like the O and the inside of the D, we need to make sure that it stays on there. So you find what I'm looking for. And then you're going to remove the back. You have to make sure you don't go too fast so it won't pull up. And sometimes you have to do it again because some of the letters were coming up. The inside of the letters were coming up. One thing that I found out when I was doing this is like this morning, I got up and I worked on a couple of mugs, and I had to make sure I just turned on mindless television. So I was watching something that I was kind of sort of paying attention to, but not really, because you really can't get in a real big hurry when you're working on this project. It takes a lot of patience. Tell you what, this is going to take a while, so I'm just going to pause my camera and get this on my mug, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, I already have this one on this side, and now I'm going to attach this one. Put it just a little bit too low. If you realize that it's not in the place that you want it, before you put any pressure, I always just put it down just a little bit so that I can still move it, because once you really press it down, it's really almost impossible to move it without tearing the vinyl and having to start all over again. So I'm just, pressing it down really well. And this has a lot of cutouts in it also. So I'm going to make sure that it's pressed down really well. So when I take it off, nothing comes up. And also you want to make sure that, especially around all of the cutouts, it's pressed down really well, because when we apply the etching can get underneath the vinyl, and then it will mess up what you're trying to etch. So it's on there pretty well. So now all I'm going to do is slowly take off the transfer vinyl. I'm sorry, transfer tape. Slowly take it off. Okay. Okay, now that I have it off, the next thing I'm going to do is use some, you can use painter's tape or masking tape, whatever you have. And I am going to tape off the areas. The reason I'm going to take them off is if you get etching on any of the glass, etching is permanent. So you will leave like little marks around your glass where you don't want it. And I'll turn it around in just a minute so you can see what I'm doing to this side. And I'm going to also do it to the other side. And again, the only reason you're doing this is to make sure the Armour Etch doesn't get on your glass. One of my glasses or one of my mugs also got a little bit on, I had it on my hands, and a little bit I was holding on the inside of the mug, and I was washing it off, and so it left a cloudy area on one of the mugs. So you just have to be really careful when you're handling the etch to make sure that the only place that it touches is where you actually want it to go. I cut that piece just a little bit too short. And I know I'm using a lot of blue tape, but I like to use a lot because when you get ready to take it off, it'll all come off in like easily with like one little rip. So this is what I've done. I'm going to do the same thing and outline, what is this, Proud Aggie Uncle on this side in blue tape. And then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm ready to apply the etching. I actually put a big plastic bag on my counter. I'm actually in my pantry. And so I don't want to, I want to make sure I don't stain the granite. And also, normally, as long as you have a stainless steel sink, it would be fine to be able to put the water from the etching in your stainless steel sink. But we have a septic system, and we can't, the etching can't go down into the septic system. So I have it's my mop bucket right here. And so when I get ready to wash it off, I'm going to wash it off inside the mop bucket and then take it out and pour it out. You have to make sure you have on gloves, and all you need to do is take your etching, and I just dip a small brush right into the jar. I'll get this side first. Let me get closer so you can see me. And I make sure that I put a nice amount on there. The first couple of times I did it, I didn't put as much, and I also brushed it around in different directions. And then I decided to just let it sit there for a bit, and it worked just as well or even better than brushing it. When I get it all on, I'll show you the first directions that I was given to do. Make sure you cover all of the area, even a little bit outside of the area, because you want to make sure everything is set. So now that I have it on, I just kind of let it sit there. But the first directions I was doing is I would brush in different directions to make sure it got, down in the between the letters really well. But I found out it really didn't make a difference. Now I have my phone right here. The best time for me was 6 minutes. So let me set my timer so I can start. And now I'm going to do the other side. The reason I did put this one up here, I have class of 2021 is going to go below here, but I can't do it all at the same time because the tip, the very bottom of the Texas right here is going to be in between the class of 21, and I didn't want to, of course, risk messing it up. So I'm just doing them separately, but at least I'm saving a little time being able to do two at one time. I am multitasking. Again, I'm putting up, a nice ample amount. On. And I thought etching was going to be hard, and it's not. It's just time consuming. But I wanted to have keepsakes for Julia's ring day. I still don't know what she's gonna put in it because the Aggie tradition is to after you get your ring, is to dunk it in a pitcher of beer and drink the whole thing. Well, she hadn't figured out what she was going to do yet because she doesn't drink beer. But this one is for her Uncle Tommy. I'm surprising Uncle Tommy with a nice mug that he can have to remember Jalea's ring day, and he'll be able to put some beer in his. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do, and I'm just going to let it sit for 6 minutes, and I'll be back to wash it off. Okay, the timer just went off, and I'm going to turn the water on really slowly. And I'm just going to take my brush, as you can see from over there, and I'm left-handed, so definitely you can't see. All I'm doing is I'm taking my brush, and I am wiping off the etch off of the glass. And I'm making sure I get everything because, again, if you leave anything on, it will smudge your glass when you get ready to take your vinyl off. And another thing, I'm in my laundry room, but the reason I'm in here also is you can't see in the camera, but I'm standing right next to, you can see this one. I'm standing right next to the window because of the fumes. So that's all I'm doing is I'm getting all of the etch off. Off. And then I'm just going to take this rag and wipe it dry. And I found that it's easier to take everything off when it's wet. It just peels right off. If you let it sit for a little bit, it's harder to take off. So just pulling everything off and see, of course, where you have the vinyl. We have to go get a little tool. It comes off really easily when it's all attached. I'm just going to throw this away. And it's sticking to these oils. The reason I still have them on is because let me watch this. It'll probably be fine, but I want to make sure all the edge is dry. And I got it all off before I start handling it without glove. So I'm going to pause and go back to the table and get my little tool so I can get everything out. Okay, so now I'm just going to use this weeding tool to, like here, I'll start on this side, to get all of the, like the inside of the O and the inside of the D, get the vinyl out of those. You'll be able to see in a matter of minutes if I did a good job or if I had a uh-oh spot. I think they came out pretty well since this was my first time doing them. Hopefully the camera is picking it up really well. You'll be able to see it. This container to put all these little, because they're sticking to my hands. This one's coming out pretty good. I haven't found a uh-oh spot yet. We'll have to see what happens to the other side. I don't know if there's a glare on the light. And here we go. Hot Aggie apple. Maybe put something behind it. So now I just need to weed the other side to get this off, the vinyl off. And once I get the vinyl off, I will have to tape off the bottom of the Texas. Let me angle down again. So you can see what I'm doing. Let's cross our fingers I don't mess this one up. The one that says Proud Aggie Mom, it has, you have to make sure that you don't have any bubbles in your vinyl, because if you do, then the etch will go underneath and it'll cause just a, a little cloudy area where you didn't want it to be frosted. But that's fine. There's no way I'm doing it over. It's fine for me. It's just tedious and time consuming. But I was fine doing it. I forgot what I was watching on television when I was working earlier. And I'd glance, I'd laugh, and then I'd start right back etching. Just something to make her day a little bit more special, especially with the coronavirus and not being able to have, you know, a big gathering. This is really nice. Oh, came out really good. Let me put a towel behind it to see if you can see it better. So now what I need to do is underneath here, the Texas, I need to tape it off because my class of 2021 is going to go at the bottom. So I don't want any of the etch to mess up my Texas. So I'm going to tape off a little bit, just the tip of the Texas, and then I'm going to put on the class of 2021 vinyl. So I'll just pause and do that, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I just taped around, and I probably didn't have to use this much tape. And also the vinyl is going to go on top of it, but I just really wanted to take extra precautions not to mess up the bottom of my Texas here. So let me turn it around towards me so I can see. And again, I'm just putting my vinyl, and I've already attached it to the transfer tape. And I'm trying to line it up where there. I'm pulling it a little bit snug, so hopefully I won't have any bubbles. And then after I get it on, I'm just making sure it's down really good. Now see what I'm talking about? It's underneath the vinyl, but I just wanted to make sure that underneath it didn't, you know, like creep up underneath the bottom some kind of a way and mess up the bottom of the Texas. So again, I'm going to do the same thing as before. I'm going to take the painter's tape and I'm going to tape off at, you know, being precautious. Tape off the area to make sure the etch does not get on the glass. Okay. So here it is. And now I'm going to go and repeat the same process. I'm going to put the etch on, let it sit for 6 minutes, and see how it turns out. So I have to go to the laundry room. Okay, I just realized, silly Margaret, as I was getting up, I forgot to take the transfer tape off. So I just took it off. So now I'm going to retape it. I was like, where's the transfer tape? Then I realized I never took it off. That would have been really funny if I didn't notice it, and then I would have wondered why it didn't etch. And it was because it couldn't get through the transfer tape. So now let me put it back on. I'm glad I caught that because it would have been forever for me to figure out. Well, I guess when I start taking everything off, I would have noticed that I forgot to take the transfer tape off. I guess I'm so ready to be finished with this project. It's taken a while. Turn it on its side. It's faster. Okay, now transfer tape on there. That would have been funny. Okay. Uh-oh, this one's a little bit too high. It was going into the bottom of the two. And we can't have that because then the etching wouldn't be able to get to the two correctly. Okay, now we're ready to put the etch on. So here we have it. Okay, I have already put gloves, another pair of gloves on, and doing the same procedure. I'm just gonna get the etch. And cover up the class of 2021 with the etch. At first, I was like, I don't need a big bottle of etch because I wasn't planning on doing as many beer mugs or just mugs as I'm doing. But since I had so much, I just thought this would be such a nice, keepsake for family to have. I think I put a little bit more on this one, but that's fine. Got carried away talking. I forgot to bring my phone in here this time to set my timer. So here it is. And let me set the timer for 6 minutes. And I'll be back. Okay, so it's been 6 minutes. And now we're going to wash it off. Looks like it's coming out good. I don't see any streaks. After this, I'll have to show you, show all of the ones that I've done because this is the last one and I'm all done. At least with this part. Okay, I'm going to turn that water off. We're going to pat it dry. Now we're going to take off all the tape, including, and again, etching is, it goes into the glass. So me putting the painter's tape on top of the part that had already been etched is not, well, will not affect it at all. Take that off. I'll smart this color and brought my little weeding tool in here with me. Little enough. And I don't care if it sticks to these gloves because I'm throwing them away anyway. I know everyone probably has a lot of disposable gloves with, due to the coronavirus. it's dry. Make sure I got the inside out so I don't have any cloudy areas. I'm going to take these gloves off. And since I'm here and I have my reading tool, I'll just go on and finish reading it here. And then you'll get to see up close what I'm doing. So again, here I'm just taking out all the inside of the letters, like the inside of the S's now. And then I'm going to do the O, the inside of the O, and the inside of the S. It's being a little bit stubborn. I might have to go get those little tweezers to get it on. Oh, there it comes. You're going to see before I do if I had any mistakes. I haven't looked at it yet, but you can see it. Let me see. I don't know if you can have that. I don't know if you can see it good with the. So let's see. No, this one looks great. And here we go. I am almost finished with my etching project. I'm trying to find, okay, this is the mug that I made for my daughter, Jalea. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I have a grandpuppy and she is just crazy about her. She has a Maltese named Half Pint. And so I wanted her to also have a keepsake mug along with her picture that she'll be able to use in the future. And so on hers, I did the same Texas A&M inside of the Texas and class of 2021. And I just put Proud Aggie on hers. And then I put a paw print for her puppy. And then, so I have hers, and then I'm trying to see the one I just finished. Anyway, so I have one for her brother, and it just says Proud Aggie Bro. Again, in the front, all of them say the same thing. And then I have 3 that says Aunt. And Aw, this one says Mom. And then I have, oh, this is the one that I just did. This is Uncle. And then I have one, oh, this says Dad, but I showed you this one earlier. And I did one for Grandma. And so now all I have to do is, oh, on the back of hers, it says class of 2021 and a big Texas on the back of her mug. And then it also says whoop. I did put a paw print on her mug. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is, right here. And I think I'm putting a Gig'em thumb on the bottom. And then I'll be finished. So all I have to do is wash them all up and they'll be ready to go. Thanks for joining Cooking, Crafting, and Gardening with Margaret and Mia. And we'll see you next time. But don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.